Hi, Lauren and Christine are back with me and to talk about the differences that we see in the Coherence Lab related to other models. And one of the things that's come up quite frequently is the problem around needing to fix. And as practitioners, feeling like we need to offer the solution and fix the problem for the people that come to us. And on the side of the person that comes to us is we've been trained over many, many years to get fixed. We go into the doctor or the practitioner to get fixed. And so one of the ways we've found to get around this is being curious, finding out what's really going on for the person. So maybe you've had some experience with this, Lauren.
Oh yeah. I think it's the most challenging thing to get over as a practitioner, because I think we're trained to listen for key things when we're hearing someone, and every different modality has those different things, whether it's homeopathy or chemotherapy or human design. You're listening for key things. And it's like a flow chart in your brain. They said X, that must equal Y. I can fix Y. And but here's where the problem comes. While I'm doing that, I'm interpreting and translating what you're saying, and I might be making a lot of assumptions. I don't know if anyone listening has ever been misheard by a practitioner, but I'm guessing they have. And what we want to do to help that practice is when that information comes in, rather than bringing it across, and I'm showing you how my well-defined head works, and connects with what the thing is. Instead, I connect it with a question. What do I want to know more about that? So, Lois, if you were to tell me that you were feeling really overwhelmed, if I assumed that how I feel overwhelmed equals how you feel overwhelmed, I might take us in a whole direction that might not serve your true needs. So I would be better serving both of us to go, Lois, can you tell me more about what that feels like to you?
Because I mean, you're talking about the power of the word here, you
Mhm.
know, and how we define and see things. And if we listen to someone tell us what that means to them, we're getting a much deeper picture into what's going on for them. And so are they. And our curiosity can be informed by the things that we know. But it's kind of like playing Jeopardy with everything. It's kind of, can you put that in the form of a question? And it is an open question, not a closed question where I want an answer from you, but it's a tell me more. Um, oh, you said something, you used a particular word. Uh, what does that mean to you? It's like really getting curious about what's going on for this individual. And I know in our society, this takes time, and time is clearly money from most practitioners' perspectives. So it's it's we're offering up an idea to do this in a very different and a slower way to be in service of other people.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think about the whole idea of fixing in the first place, right? Like, this is something that human design is very keyed in on, which is it's all perfect, right? There's nothing to fix, right? Now, that doesn't mean that somebody doesn't come in with some form of suffering that they want to alleviate. That's 100% true. But this is, again, we're in these in-between paradigms, right? Like, for a long time, we've been taught that all of our suffering was happening to us, right? And it's very much a time where we're starting to recognize that our suffering is happening for us, right? And so when we can bring these sufferings to the group and say, I don't understand why this thing is happening, right? What is it here for? Right? That's a whole different perspective than I have this awful disease and I want to get rid of it, right? Because we are like, this is what human design is telling us. We are filled with dilemma, in our bodies, right? Things are polarities. There are things that don't make sense, right? It is all here for us to learn from, right? And so this is a space where that is our goal, at least, right? We may not always achieve that, you know, exact clarity all the time, but I think that's the goal here.
Yeah. Christine, when I heard you, I was thinking about really my role in holding space for, let's say it's you, is helping you understand more about what you've come to solve, not for me to know it inside and out, but for you to. And this is a real flip. I mean, when we talk about paradigm shift, that's like you have to sit with that for a while. Wait a minute, because every modality teaches you to train in this thing, you'll have the answers for all these people in X,
Mhm.
right? And the truth is, ladies, if that really worked, none of us would be suffering today. We would all be healed and we would all have every problem resolved. So, what's going on? I mean, I'm thinking that the model might not be working.
There wouldn't be so many practitioners. But the other thing I was thinking with coming from what both of you are sharing is that when we fix certain symptoms or make something completely go away, we might be depriving that person of a huge opportunity to learn or experience something that they need in their lives. And so that's a huge interference on our part. So we need to find out if that's what this person really, really wants and if it's truly of service to them.
Yeah. Yeah. And they aren't going to know that unless they can talk through it,
Yeah.
right? And this is, I think I always think about beginner's mind, right? That's just a Japanese concept. Shoshin is what the word is. And it's just this idea that, in the beginner's mind, there are many options, and in the expert's mind, there are few, right? And so it's a practice that we can all learn from as practitioners and as just humans. Like, how can I enter this space? How can I look at this suffering that I'm having from this beginner's mind? I know nothing about it. Where do I go? How do I get curious about what this is doing here for me or to me, or however you want to frame it? Because in that space, like you said at the beginning, Lois, that is the curiosity space, right? That is where we are most regulated, right? It's very hard to be both curious and fearful at the same time, right? So being curious is a natural calming agent to us, and it's the only place where possible question, answers lie, right? This is where possibility lives, in curiosity.
And possibilities nobody may have thought of yet.
Right.
And here's your opportunity.
Yeah. And when I am certain I know the answer, I'm no longer present.
Mhm. Yeah.
I've already left the conversation. I know, and then enter into this space of, okay, come on, so I can tell you what it is. And I may be missing the most incredible revelation that that person may be able to have. And if I can step out of my own way, because that's really what it is, we're asking our, our practitioners to do is step out of the expertise and step into a place that empowers our guest by listening and being curious and asking questions, even when you're pretty sure you're certain about what they say. It's a great fact check opportunity. And I have found myself always surprised by what that person shares.
Mhm. Yeah.
And we're also inviting that person into their own healing.
Yeah. Yeah, Lois, that's really important.
So now we're partners rather than, and so that goes into who has the power. They're now empowered.
Yeah.
Well, and it's about responsibility, right? And so this is another thing that's shifting on the planet, right? We have given away our responsibility to a lot of people, which means we've given away our power, right? And so when you say to people, oh, you should take responsibility for that, mostly people have been trained to not really want that responsibility because it seems like work and it seems scary, and then they're the ones responsible, right? But the responsibility is the ability to respond, right? And we all are, many of us on the planet are here to respond, right? And so if we can't access that, if we can't take responsibility for our piece of this thing that we're doing here on this planet, then we won't ever be healed if healed is what we're looking for.
Which might lead us into another discussion about the difference between healing and curing at some point.
Ooh, I like that one.
That's good, Lois.
Yeah, something to look forward to. So thank you for being with us, and we hope we see you next time.